Hey, good morning everyone. This is the Road Biker. Today is February 6, 2016, and this is the day after. The day after another snowstorm, and this is what my roads look like today. So, they may look clean and clear and ready to ride on film, but I'll tell you, there's too much crud on the side of the road, and once the stuff starts melting, it's no day to ride. So today I'm going to be telling you about how I clean my chain. I use a brush that I bought at a hardware store. It has a medium bristle on it. I have a couple clean towels that I use, clean rags, a primary and a secondary cleaning rag. I use a super clean product. This is biodegradable. It's a degreaser. It works great. I use it on my lawnmower and a bunch of other stuff. Surprisingly, a water bottle filled with water. Talk about that later. And I use Wet Ride to lube my chain. Now, I clean my chain as frequently as it's suggested that I lube it, which is about every 100 miles. So, these are the items I use to clean my chain. Easy peasy, nothing to it. So I begin by moving my chain to the smaller chain ring, as you see here. And I also move to the smallest cog on the cassette. And the reason I do that is that it allows the derailleur to be fully extended and easier to get at. Now I begin by taking one of my cleaning rags and wiping off the chain by running the chain through my hands and just wiping the chain off, getting off the heavier stuff. And by the way, if you do this 100 miles, 150 miles, you're not going to have a lot of dirt and grease on your chain. So this is a fairly easy process for me to do. As you can see, there isn't much grease there. Obviously, I get back and I wipe off the components of the derailleur. The guides, the cogs back there, anything I can reach with my fingers and my rag. Then I switch over and I wipe down the chain rings, getting off as much grease and dirt as possible by hand, anything that's really heavy. And again, if you do this on a regular basis, you don't have that much to clean off. It's not that hard to do. It's a little tedious, this part here, because you're turning the pedals into your hands, but it's not that hard to do. Again, wiping things down at this point. This only takes me about 5 minutes to do in real time. It doesn't take very long to do. And by the way, you do see that I'm on a bike stand, and if you don't have a bike stand, I don't know how you're going to do this. I take my degreaser and I spray the chain rings in the front, getting them well coated with the degreaser. And again, the degreaser is biodegradable, so you can use it anywhere. Then I switch back to the cogs on the index, spray them very liberally, and you can see I'm turning the pedal, so I'm moving the chain through the cogs at the same time. I hit some of the components on the outside of the derailleur with the degreaser. And again, I'm spraying this very liberally. Then I reach for my brush, and I use the brush to get in between all the cogs on the cassette. And again, this is a medium bristle brush. You know, it's not overly aggressive. It doesn't have to be. It's not like you're cleaning off heavy duty equipment. You're just cleaning a bicycle chain and cogs. Just reach inside between the cogs so that you apply all the degreaser as much as possible. And then I come back one more time with the degreaser and spray it one more time. And this kind of rinses off whatever it is that I loosened up with the brush. Okay, reach for the water bottle. And all you gotta do is rinse. Squirt, squirt, squirt. I don't use power washers. I don't use a hose. None of that's necessary. Just the flow of the water against this degreaser will wash away 99% of anything that's on the chain and the cogs and the chain rings, guaranteed. It works great. And I only use 1 bottle of water. It's not much. You also notice that I don't use plastic or latex gloves, and for those of you that feel like you don't want to get your hands dirty doing this, certainly go ahead, put on a pair of gloves. Once I've got the front chain ring and the index all rinsed off, I get another rag and I do a light wiping of all the components and all the chain one more time. This might be a little overkill, to be honest with you, but it's your baby, you know, it's your bike. You want to take care of it. So I spend a little extra time wiping off any little spots that I might have missed on my previous wiping of the components, the chain and so forth. Now once that's done, I try to wipe off anything that's on the exterior of the derailleur, any place that there are moving parts. And once that's done, I'll wipe it one more time with a nice clean rag. Very quickly, very light. At this point, the chain should be sparkling clean along with the cogs on the cassette and your main chain rings as well. And again, I do this like every 100 miles, 150 miles. Here I am just wiping off anything that's kind of sprayed off to the side. And the last thing I do is I reach for the lube. I lube my chain like everybody else does. And once the chain is lubed, by just running drops along the top of the chain as I run it through the back index, I then reach for one more clean rag, or another section of the clean rag, and I just kind of work the lubricant against all the rings of the chain, and that's it. So that takes me every bit of 5 or 10 minutes at the most. And naturally, when I'm done doing all this, you test out your shifting and make sure everything is running correctly. And at this point, you should have a nice, quiet, smooth running chain. So that's how I do it, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you will subscribe to this channel. Subscribe by clicking that subscribe box you see just right there. And as always, your comments are welcome, so please feel free to post them. This is The Road Biker. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.